All right, good evening, everyone. This is Patti Ross in British Columbia, and happy Chinese New Year, Year of the Snake. For those of you that believe in that kind of thing, it could be a very profitable year for all of us, and I believe in everything, especially LegalShield. And so today is Sunday, February the 10th, and what I want to do, Ken Smith, Millionaire Club member, is turn the call over to you for some opening comments.
Well, gung hai fat choi from Vancouver. We're having a good time here. Boy, we got a huge percentage of our locals are celebrating their little minds out, and we've got a great Chinese team here in British Columbia, too, that are just blowing it right out of the box here when they're marketing the memberships, just doing a great job. So we're definitely appreciative of that. And, of course, right across the North American marketplace here, we can just kind of, service every community, every different group of individuals that could have a benefit from our services, which is really anybody of legal age, really, when it comes right down to it. Just huge target market and so many exciting things going on behind the scenes. We've had an opportunity over this past week to interact with a couple of the home office individuals out in Atlanta and down in the corporate offices in Dallas and even over to Ada, Oklahoma. So a lot of things being put together, not the least of which is some great recognition and some great presentations coming up at our big Destiny Now conference coming up in April, and a lot of other things that are being re-engineered in terms of the collateral and the marketing systems and just, making this a smoother ride, albeit that there's been such a tremendous ride up until now. Our good friend Kelly Rialt was recognized as the 156th Millionaire Club member this past week. I know there's been 2 or 3 individuals this past week that have got their 6-figure ring for the first time. So, obviously it's smooth sledding. It's going to take a while maybe for some of us to reach those milestones, but the more often we see other people do it, the more likely we believe that we could do it ourselves, because the system is the system. As long as you choose to follow it, you'll reach your destination for sure. So it's always exciting to get together, and of course those that plug in, and we're preaching to the choir obviously, but the people who plug in, stay plugged in, stay connected are the ones that go the distance. The ones that kind of fade away, lose touch and what have you, I guess it's like a diet or an exercise program or backsliding from church, whatever you want to use as an example. It's unfortunate, but you got to stay close to the fire in order to really harness the energy of what's going on here. So each of us need all of us. All of us need each of us, and a lot of times you have an amazing week, and we like to hear about that because that inspires the people that maybe didn't have such a great one. So, you need to be at the meeting if you had a week that wasn't really all that exciting for you, and if you had one, then you need to be there to share it with others. And it's just so exciting to hear the different stories and the different positive outcomes. We had a lunch, Patti and I, with the senior partner of our law firm and one of the other key individuals there, heard some great success stories there. Had an event at our home here on, I believe it was Friday evening. It was a dream board event, and, had an opportunity once again to get to know people a little more closely and to hear their stories, whether it was from their members or for their experience in the business. And then, just the conference calls and different things that you plug into it just really builds your belief, your, solid foundation to run with. And, that's what it really takes. Sales is a transference of belief. So if you find something that works and works really well for you, it's highly likely that you're going to share it with other people, but we just add a little bonus here that will pay as much as you're willing to accept in terms of income and recurring income as a result of spreading the good news. So, Patti, I'll turn it back to you. I know you've got some great things lined up and some great people that are on the line here with us this evening. Back to you, Patti.
Great. Thank you, Ken. Great opening comments. And, we're going to talk a lot about the Oklahoma City Conference and a couple other things. Before I do that, I do want to go down to Atlanta, Georgia, to Millionaire Club member, Ms. Lorna Rasmussen. Lorna, I'd just love to get some opening comments from you.
Well, thanks very much, and happy Chinese New Year's. Of course, I've got 2 Chinese grandchildren, and they're celebrating. They may be in Malaysia with their grandparents on the Chinese side, so they're having a great time, I'm sure. We've actually, I don't know what the snake means, but it looks good to me. I think the snake could be very helpful to us. I think we all are feeling some anticipation about what's coming up. I want to share a quick story with everybody. Got together with a woman here who's actually originally from Edmonton. She knew my sister, and Linda knew her, and had been trying to get me together with her, and I'd actually done a presentation to her staff back, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and nothing came of it. But I sat with this woman. She's been very successful. She made $1 million before she was 22 years old. She has a multi-million-dollar company, and she's doing something with small business. And I said, there's a real fit here, and I would like to sit with you and show you what we do. We had about a 3/4 of an hour meeting in a coffee shop in Atlanta here. She immediately wanted the business plan. She immediately wanted the personal plan. She is talking very seriously about how to bring this on into her company. And she said, I know lots of people who would love to get involved with you. You know what? Two things came from that. First of all, I think that smart people who've been successful, get this much faster than other people. And that's, pat on the back for everybody that's on board here and on this call. And it's true. People who are business people who have been around the bushes a couple of times, people who have lived a life, look at this, and it's just like a no-brainer. And that's basically what she said to me. This is a no-brainer. I need this, and I know that small business people need it. I want to take it out to the world and share it with them. And the other thing that it struck me, because I called my sister and said, what happened 4 or 5 years ago? Why didn't we get something going with her before? Because we spoke to her people, and her people didn't have the same kind of understanding that she had. And so really a couple of lessons here, too, is that you've got to talk to the decision makers. You've got to, and sometimes that's scary. Sometimes you got to kind of suck it up and do something that you're uncomfortable with. But the decision makers, the people who are already successful, those are the people who are going to take this and run with it. And, we're so familiar with it because we've been around a lot. For those of us who have been around for a while, we may just take it for granted. I'm realizing in the conversations I'm having with people now. I talked to a lawyer this week as well, and she said, you must get together with me next week. I need to know how this works because I have so many people who need this service. One of my associates told me today that he'd had 2 leads from lawyers who don't want to take this on, as they can't help these clients, and they want to see them help. So those are things that just really encourage people to really think about this service in terms of what you're bringing to other people. And when you get kind of nervous about talking to somebody, get over it and talk to those people. And to final remark is I want to welcome one of our newest associates, who's out of, I think he said Marietta. People won't know where that is. Kevin out of Loudon, out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we want to thank him for coming on the call, and hope that you enjoy some of the trainings that we're going to do today. And with that, back to you, Patti. Thank you.
Great story, Lorna. Really appreciate that, because I think all of us get a little bit, it's easier, it's less stressful to talk to the people who are not the decision makers. But once you get in and they see it, it's so empowering. So really appreciate you sharing that, definitely, because when we're making our calls tomorrow, we want to make sure that we get hold of the decision maker and just meet them like you did for coffee or go to their office or whatever it takes. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that are coming up, which is, I think this is the most important event of the year. Well, I know it is, and the company says it is, and I know some of you, your brains have already sat down and you immediately said, I can't afford it, I can't go, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, somebody won't let me, but let's figure out a plan. I mean, we still have good, strong 6 weeks to make this happen. We can find other people to share hotel rooms with, or how many memberships do you have to sell to get your airfare, whatever it takes. Let's figure out how to get you down there. And for those of you that have already been out to your Super Saturday, you probably saw this video that I'm going to see if I can play. And if it's coming through, if it actually plays on your computer, I'm going to put my phone up to the speaker. Ken, just maybe text in and let me know. Otherwise, I'll just go on to the next slide.
Where will you find your destiny? LegalShield. We are network marketing. People connecting with people for a whole universe of possibilities. You will rise above all obstacles. Charge towards success. Evolve your business. Unleash your network for explosive exponential growth. Old friends and new. Heroes and legends. Business and opportunity. This is your destiny.
Cool. I'm glad that worked. So that's what the company put together, just to get it out there so that we can all make a decision to get to destiny now. And it is our destiny. This not only is this company, LegalShield, our destiny, but, think about it. Any major company, whether you're the owner of the company or you're a senior executive of that company, they all insist that we go to that company's trade show. Well, Oklahoma City Convention is our trade show. So I just wanted to kind of put that seed in the bonnet. So register now if you haven't already got your ticket. Some of you I know qualify for the free tickets, but the tickets are $135, and probably most of you could go out and market a $35.95 a month plan and get your money to get into the conference. So it's like reinvesting back into your business. So register before the price increases again. We're actually going to talk about the new incentive for February and March as well. But before I do that, I think I'm going to go back one slide, and I do want to go out to a couple of the leaders that have been to a conference, just maybe to share why it is important that you get there. And first of all, Ms. Karen Arsbrego from Portland, Oregon, Executive Director Extraordinaire, Regional Manager. I don't think you've ever missed a conference, Karen, and just love to throw the phone over to you, maybe just to give some people just your take on why this conference is so important.
Oh, wow. Well, hopefully you can hear me.
I can. Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm on. Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you, coming to this conference, especially with all the changes going on with LegalShield, MidOcean, and all the people they're bringing on board, the major players, I wouldn't want to miss this. But I'll tell you, even if they weren't doing that, this is the thing. This will move your business 6 months to 9 months ahead. I'm absolutely sure about it, because you see people with all kinds of backgrounds walking across stage that are having huge success, and you go, why? If they can do it, why not me? And that's part of it, but it's just really getting with the people that are making it happen. You can't learn that at home. There's just no way. I mean, if you invested a lot of money in a McDonald's franchise or any kind of franchise, my goodness, you wouldn't even dare think of not going. But, I think our price of entry is so small that many people trip up on that and fool themselves that, I don't need to go. Well, it's the very thing you need to go to, because I tell you, with everything they're rolling out, literally our timing is here. And, a lot of people are going to miss it, but don't you miss it, because, to know the nuances, to understand what you need to do to succeed in this business, it's all going to be there. Everybody who's successful is going to be there. The information that they've just taken years, 40 years to sort of get to the point where, they've hashed it out, they've fine-tuned it, they've smoothed it down. It's all going to be rolled out, at this next convention. So I'm excited. I wouldn't miss it for the world, and I definitely encourage, and I personally want to get as many team members there, because I'll tell you, it'll change your whole perspective. And, I guarantee you, you get there, and you will learn what you need to do to succeed. So with that, back to you, Patti.
Great comments. Thank you, Karen. Let's go back down to Atlanta, Georgia. Lorna, just would love to get your take on why we all need to be at this conference.
Well, I think Karen's really shared some of the most important, which is this company's in transition right now, and it's not just understanding what is going on, but actually being trained on how the implementation is taking place. And I think about missing Alan Fernley's presentation at the first convention that he spoke at. If I hadn't heard that, I wouldn't have understood, or at the Dallas convention when they rolled out the branding, if I hadn't seen that, I don't think it would have had as big an impression on me about how to talk about this company with people. When I'm talking to that woman that I was talking about earlier, I had to not just say things, I had to believe them. I had to talk to her about a company that is going through some major transitions. You know, their goal is not to double the number of memberships or triple the number of memberships or even quadruple the number of memberships. It's to go from 1.4 million to 52 million memberships over a course of time. Well, that's stuff that I hear at conventions, and when I see how they're rolling things out and what they're doing and what they're saying about it, that's when my level of belief goes up. You know, we're really selling an intangible here. Whether we're recruiting or we're selling the membership, it's an intangible. So our personal belief is critical to how that thing gets sold. It isn't. If we don't believe it, it will come through in our voice. This is particularly true for new people. It's really important that you make an investment in your business. And I know people will look at me and look at Ken and Patti and say, well, they've got all the money, so it's no big deal for them to go. But I know myself, and I'm pretty sure Ken and Patti were in the same boat, that there was a time when we didn't have the money to go, but we went regardless. And the reason that we're making money today is because we went regardless. Same thing with Karen. Karen, I'm sure, there were times in the early years when she didn't have the money to go, but she, in fact, I think I've heard that story. But you found a way to go. It wasn't an option. And I think the fact that we've got a time frame ahead of us and we have a way to make money to get there, just put it aside and just say, well, this is what I need to make, and this is what it's going to take to get there. There are, for instance, are buses going from the Atlanta market. There are inexpensive ways to get there. People are going to be driving. I mean, there are ways to get there that maybe aren't the most comfortable, but they'll work. And once you're there, there's lots of people who are bunking in together. I know we're going to put 3 people in a room so that we can make it as inexpensive for people as possible. So get together with the people who are part of your team, your sport team, and tell them, look, I'm committed to going. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but this is the parameters, and how can you help me? And we'll find ways to put you together with people or put you with some ideas of how to do it inexpensively. But money should not be an issue. So that should not stop you. Taking 2 to 3 days out of your life to go to this convention. I love the fact they're calling it Destiny now, because if you see this as part of your destiny, if you see this company as part of the way you're going to make a living, then it just makes sense for you to be there. And I know that you'll say exactly what everybody who's ever gone to one of these conventions says. I'm so glad I came. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I am absolutely thrilled I made that decision. So be that person and make sure that you come. And then back to you.
Great comments. Thanks, Lorna. And Mr. Ken, over to you. Love to get your feedback on this.
Absolutely. Well, what has been said is so true. And, I just have to chuckle because we had our little grandson over here again this weekend. He's not even 2.5. And when you kid him, he goes like, come on, Papa. Come on, Papa. And, I just have to hear that in my head when somebody says, I want to be in this business, I want to make it work, I want to earn $500 a month or $1,000 or $2,000, I'm committed. And if somebody says I can't go to the conference, I'm just in the back of my mind, I hear, come on, Papa, come on, Papa. Like, are you kidding me? This is where you find out, and this is where you get the opportunity, has been alluded to here, to rub shoulders with the people that are having the greatest success, and then the belief that you garner there, because it's not unusual to have attorneys general or the president of the Chamber of Commerce for North America, or for the head of the Better Business Bureau, or somebody from Kroll background worldwide, or certainly the people that are running the company that paid $650 million to buy this business, or to see a stage full in a room of 16,000 people and see a huge stage in the American Airline Convention Center where there's so many lawyers representing us there that they can't even get them all on the stage. Some of them are down on the floor. And those are the kinds of things that, to hear it or to see a recording of it or to read about it, it has nowhere near the impact that actually being there has. And you're in the process of seeing something revolutionized. It's changing the way people access the entire system. And I think in many cases, a lot of the belief and a lot of the foundation that you garner is not even in the formal presentations at all. It's lining up for a coffee in the morning, or riding up and down the elevator, or maybe going from your hotel over to the convention center on a shuttle bus or something, and meeting so many other people that have got the same goals and objectives and what have you in mind. And in some cases, maybe they've been involved a little longer, or some cases they have some stories that you hadn't heard of before. And it just I always think of, like anybody, including my little 2.5-year-old grandson, could tear a page out of a Yellow Pages, or maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them. But if you take one for the city of New York or something, there's no way that Hulk Hogan or a Batman or somebody like that could tear that in half. And that's the same thing, layer by layer by layer. By showing up, you learn the information, you internalize the verbiage, you build your strength and commitment, and then from there, there's nothing stopping you. Because if 156 people have earned over $1 million, and if you want to earn over $1 million, then there's no reason in the world why you couldn't. If that's not your objective, then anything less than that is totally possible. But showing up, I think, is the number one thing in every aspect of this business, whether it's to your conference call, your local business briefing, your fast start, your basic training, your Super Saturdays, and certainly that conference is something that I'm sure that there's nobody in the Profiles of Success that hasn't attended many conferences. Sometimes only 1 or 2, because I see that the most recent individual that just got their $100,000 ring did it in 1 year. So there's always going to be a superstar, and it's never a bad time, whether it took you 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or whatever. But to get into that 6-figure and then the renewal, recurring income, and then into the Millionaire Club, there's not too many other places that you could do that, but this is part of the system, getting to those conferences, taking advantage of the time, energy, effort, and money that's been invested in putting that together. And this is going to be colossal. That's why there's only going to be one this year, because they're putting so much into it that, in years past, many years ago, we used to have 3 conferences a year. Then up until last year, we had 2, but this is going to be the blockbuster. This is going to be the nuclear-powered conference, and you just don't want to be one of the people that wasn't there. It's just not something that you want to make an option for yourself. So, Patti, I'll turn it back to you.
Great comments. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you, Ken. Absolutely. I know some of you probably think, my goodness, they're really harping on this, but you'll be grateful that we did, definitely. Now, hopefully all of you know of the new incentive for February and March. We're already now into our second week of February, and we do have some brand new associates on the line. I know Lorna welcomed a new associate, and Glenn Andrade welcomed his new associate. Or our new associate, Kevin and Mark. You're part of the team. Congratulations. I know there's some other new associates on the call as well. And others of you are still in your fast start qualification period. So this incentive definitely is for you. And so let's see. Let's just go through some of the things just so everyone's real clear. You want to take the Fast Start Challenge and get half off your enrollment fee. So all you need to do is recruit someone who gets their membership during your Fast Start qualification period. And not only do you enjoy instant growth, because now there's 2 of you that are working together hand in hand, you will also get a $75 rebate on your enrollment fee. So you pay $149, you just recruit one person with a membership. Not only will you get the commission for selling them the membership, but you also get that $75 rebate. So you're practically in the black just by one transaction. Eligible participants, here's who's eligible. Anybody who is a current associate who is right now still in their Fast Start qualification period, so even if you got started in January and still within your 30 days, maybe you just took your basic training, so your 30 days started after your basic training, if you just recruit one person with a membership, you will get that $75. And then any new associates who are recruited between February 1st and March 31st, and I know Keith Smith in British Columbia, you just brought on Chris, and so all Chris needs to do is recruit one person with a membership, and he gets that $75 rebate back. So the challenge period, as I mentioned, is from February 1st to March 31st. Recruit a new associate with a new membership within your own Fast Start qualification, and you get that $75 rebate on the $149 enrollment fee. The other thing that's really a focus right now is Power 20. Regardless of your level, achieving Power 20 is where you want to go. If you're in the room right now and you can text and you are Power 20, just say, I'm there, I'm Power 20, maybe even how many months you've been Power 20. I know Teresa Berlin out of Portland, Oregon, you've been Power 20 for a long time. Because that's really a method of operation. It's kind of like executive directors, the kindergarten of executive director, because you have to qualify for Power 20 in a 1-month period. So if you just personally go out and enroll 20 people yourself in a calendar month, you're Power 20. If you have an organization, between yourself and the people on your team, when it adds up to 20, as long as you can't count any more than 12 from any one team, but if you got 12 from one team, then you can make 8 more memberships from yourself and other people on your team. So if you do that, then the following month after you qualify for Power 20, if someone on your team Fast Start qualifies, you're going to get a $100 bonus. So that starts to add up. That's a pretty good bonus. I'm sure everyone will agree. So just as we're wrapping up this part, and I want to go out again to some of the leaders just to get their take on this, which is your action plan. You know, what goals have you set for 2013? The goals that you've set, did you write them down? You know, are they specific and measurable? In other words, have you set a goal to achieve a certain position in your LegalShield business? You know, it might be to get to director by Oklahoma City. Did you write that down? Do you know exactly what you need to do to achieve it? Are you going to do it on personal sales? Are you doing it by helping 3 people get to manager? So those are the things that you need to write down. For those of you who are pretty new in the business, and that's almost like ridiculously out of your scope of understanding, just get together with your sponsor and your success coach and just talk about what goals you can achieve in the next 30, 60, 90 days. And then did you assign a deadline for the goal that you want to set? And are you committed to achieving those goals? I mean, are you committed to doing whatever it takes? And then are you willing to reach your destiny in 2013? So you might even start by putting out a 1-year goal, because December 31st, what would your goal be? Would it be to be an executive director by December 31st? Would it be to be earning, you know, $50,000 or $60,000 or getting your ring or going to the next position? Whatever your action plan is, those are some of the things that you want to definitely go for, absolutely. So first of all, Lorna Rasmussen, I'd love to go out to you, Lorna, and just kind of get your take on the importance of Power 20 and just kind of the action plan that we just talked about.
Well, what I love about Power 20 is that it's just a building on of your first month of the business, or your first month that you're really pushing for your qualifications. That means that in that month you get your 5 points, or however many points, but you get those 5 points, then you teach the other people in your organization to do the same. So it only really takes you and 4 or 5 other people putting in a minimum number of points, and you can make your Power 20. And once you get used to doing that, as you said, it's a kindergarten of what we're doing anyway, because what we're doing with Power 20 is we're learning how to hit goals every month on a regular basis. Most of the people that I've had in my organization that made the decision to be in Performance Club, get their 5 points every month, most of those people within their first, second, or third month were doing it, and doing it consistently. It's just like a muscle. You just start working that muscle, you build it, and then the consistency of it just starts happening. And you're paying attention to it, obviously, but it's just happening, and teaching other people to do what you've done. You can't do it. You can't show somebody else how to do it if you're not doing it. So that whole process of being Power 20, so for those of you who've been in for a little bit, making that commitment, making the decision to be Power 20 is exactly the same kind of decision that you made when you decided to become Performance Club qualified, and it's going to be the same decision you make when you decide, I'm going to be an executive director. So you'll know how to do it. It's already kind of the muscle memory's there. You know, you just have to up your game a little bit and go for it. So it starts with Performance Club. moves into Power 20 and eventually gets you to the executive director. That gets you to $100,000, and then pretty soon you're a millionaire club. So that's how it works. Back to you, Patti.
Great stuff. Awesome. I'd love to go out, first of all, Teresa Berlin in Portland, Oregon. I know you're just doing a bang-up job, Teresa. I'm not sure on this system how it's going to work. If you're on the computer, you might have to press *6 to unmute the line. Can you try that, Teresa, and see if you can talk? See, I did not give you the heads up on that. So I'll figure out how to do that on the computer, Teresa, and we'll definitely get you on next week because you're doing such a great job. You know, Power 20, you have your ticket, obviously, for Oklahoma City. And probably Gloria Houghton in Turner Valley, Alberta. Same with you, Gloria. Let's see if you can speak. I know you're probably on your computer as well, and I don't know how it works on here. But if you can speak, Gloria, would love to just get your feedback. I know you have your ticket and your Power 20. Okay, no worries, Gloria. We'll get you next time, Gloria and Teresa. But anyway, just wanted to recognize both you guys for doing such a great job. Our bottom line, everyone, is we want to sell more and we want to recruit more. Let's get the recruiting up, and more recruits, the more sales. And the reason it's a quiet crowd, Keith, is because I didn't give those guys a heads up, and I know everyone's listening, so that is very cool. But Ken, why don't I turn it over to you just for some final comments and just remind everyone about the leadership show tomorrow.
Great, thanks, Patti. And once again, this is one of the things that is, if you really are serious about building this business, it's just non-negotiable to miss the leadership show. And yeah, granted, if you have a job or something that you just can't get in at the actual time it's live, before your head hits the pillow at the end of the day, you just want to make that a habit. I mean, there's been a call. It hasn't always been a show, but it's been a conference call for the whole length of time that certainly, Lorna and ourselves and Karen and a number of the different people, for 14 years there's been a call, and those of us that are doing well with this, we hit every one of them. That's just part of your method of operation. If you work somewhere and they have a safety meeting or a sales meeting or a, whatever kind of a staff meeting or something like that, it's part of the what's expected of you. And when you work for yourself, you need to be a little bit more demanding on yourself than just to kind of miss this, miss that, miss the other thing, because it's interesting every now and then somebody feels kind of annoyed and like, nobody told me that, I didn't know that. And it's like, well, they told everybody else, you just didn't show up to hear it, So it's a method of communication, and it's only maybe 1 hour out of a week for doing that. And then, if you take your weekly business briefing, even if you live quite a ways away from it, if you just stretch it and say that's 4 hours, now you're up to 5 hours, and maybe a Super Saturday once a month, and maybe that's a 6-hour affair or something like that. Now you're up to 14 hours. I mean, gosh, people will work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then get tricked into overtime for free for a job that they hate or a job that has no recurring income or whatever. So definitely plug into that. You can get onto it through your back office, and of course there is a number as well. And then the business briefing, once again, I mean, I can't think of anybody outside of maybe some of the incredible sales professionals that want to work, the 40-hour week calling on businesses and doing the B2B end of things. But anybody who's built a team or leveraged themselves is just somebody that always, religiously attends those business briefings. And if you don't support them, then there won't end up being one in your marketplace as well. Private business receptions, I know I just had a sit down. We just got another confirmation for one on this coming Friday, and then the next day is our Super Saturday and a will workshop and what have you. So, the more events you attend, the more you build your business. And then basic training. There's a brand new basic training about to be released sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and all of the basic trainings are, cutting edge for sure. They're what is minting these new Millionaire Club members, new ring earners, new Power 20s and what have you. And then how many times can you sit down belly to belly in front of somebody and share the opportunity or the membership with us, or arrange for somebody else on your team to do the same thing? And then Performance Club. That's just something that you should make it a minimum acceptable level of performance for yourself, because it's totally doable. I mean, on a part-time basis, everybody should be able to be on Performance Club. then why not drive a BMW at somebody else's expense, and why not come with us every year to the 5-star resorts to enjoy the incentive trips as well? So those are some of the things, the events that are coming up, and I know you'll have events that are unique to your own city. And once again, if people are not plugged in, they don't know about these things, because a lot of times things come up on short notice that are a tremendous shot in the arm or just inside information for you. And, if you're not checking your emails all the time. I know there was a special call last week that the email came out in the afternoon of one day, and the next day the call was on, and it was 3 of the 1, 2, and 3 top earners in business to business on that call, talking about small business and group marketing. So, stay plugged in, show up, take advantage of what's here, and it'll all come together for sure. So with that, Patti, I will switch over to my DJ performance.
No, can you hold on for that? Because I think Teresa Berlin may have figured out a way to unmute herself. So let's give it a try. Miss Teresa down in Portland, Oregon. I guess not. She saw a mic that would mute and unmute, but I think you may have to. Is there a little dial pad that allows you to press *6? No, I guess not. Okay, well, we gave it a try. I will look up on that, Teresa. Not one that I see. Yeah. I'll figure it out, but anyway, thank you, Ken. You got your music all set up for people leaving the room, and let's have a rockin' week.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, Ken, yes, I can.
Yes, I did hit *6. It worked finally.
Oh, yay!
Okay, cool. You just wanted me to share a little bit my story?
Yes.
Okay, hi, everyone, and especially everyone who's brand new to the team. Hey, welcome to LegalShield. You're in the right place. And I'll just share my story real quick. I used to wait tables and bartend for many, many years, and I got laid off and went into career transition. And thankfully, 2 years ago, I found LegalShield, and because of the great support and system, I was able to reach manager position and get on the all-expense-paid incentive trip to Maui after about 1 year, and I'm going to Cancun this year. And they pay $500 a month for me to drive that brand new BMW. And I'll just say the most important thing when you're new is just, be patient and plug in, because I'll tell you, it took me about 3 or 4 months of just showing up. I really didn't do a whole lot of activity, but my amazing mentor and trainer, Ms. Karen Iris Borrego, our executive director down here in Portland, Oregon, she did such a great job of just getting me to show up, and I just plugged into the weekly training and the weekly briefing every week, and I saw once a month Super Saturdays, and it was about probably 3 months in that the light bulb started to go off, just hearing little tidbits here and there. And I would just recommend to all of you, that's the most important thing you can do for your business, is just really just show up 1 hour to one of the briefings or luncheons in your area, and if there's a training in your area, just show up, because you'd be so surprised at just hearing the little bits here and there how much to do. And then definitely, I'm so grateful I went to convention, because that commitment that I made when I was new to go to, I had joined right before Christmas, and when when they were promoting the convention, I was still pretty new, and I I don't know if I'll go, but I just made that decision, and I am so thankful, because I don't know if I would be here if I hadn't made that commitment to go to convention, and they've kept me plugged in. So definitely plug into the event and do not miss the convention. That's my strong urge to all of you. Do whatever it takes to get to convention. And thank you so much, Patti.
Well, thank you, Teresa, and thank you for being our guinea pig there, so that we know how to work the mic for the next time. So appreciate you, Teresa, and everything you do. And, hey, guys, we look forward to seeing you in your city soon, or at least down in Oklahoma City, and let's have a rockin' week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.